So you're looking for a great mechanical sewing machine with a bit more power, a bit more poke, a bit more punch power, a bit more speed, then perhaps the Pfaff Select 4.2 is the sewing machine for you. I need to start off by saying that we are agents for Pfaff, but they're not sponsoring us in any way. This is our thoughts and experiences with this machine. The Pfaff Select 4.2 is a mechanical machine. It comes with 40 stitches and 8 presser feet, which is more than you would normally get, and that includes a rolled hem foot and a darning foot, which aren't the usual ones, so it's a really nice thing to have. There is another machine in the Select range, the 3.2. Step down from this machine. It has 27 stitches and less presser feet in the box, but actually is the same machine apart from that. Key features of the Pfaff Select 4.2. Like most Pfaff sewing machines, this comes with IDT, which is their integrated dual feed technology. What that basically means is it's a permanent walking foot, which keeps the fabrics flat and level, no creep. I've done a video on it. I'll leave a link in the description as to what it's all about. But basically it's a good thing and helps feed the fabrics through your machine more evenly. The Select machines also have constant needle piercing power. Because it's a more powerful motor, it's able to pierce through multiple layers of fabrics more evenly, even at lower speeds. So if you're working on heavier projects, heavy duty projects, thicker fabrics, this will give you a nice even stitch right the way through. Also, as I've already said, because this has a more powerful motor and more speed, there is a speed control toggle switch on the foot pedal. So if you're finding it a bit much, or you just need to slow it down for whatever reason, just toggle the switch and the machine will slow down. Still got the same piercing power, still got the same functionality, but it's one of those things you can just switch between the two as you're going along. Like most machines at this price point, it has an integrated needle threader. As you get older, like me, you find that more and more useful. Don't get eye strain trying to thread your needle, just use the needle threader. Works like all the others. Great little bonus. This machine's also quite unusual in that it has the ability to wind the bobbin through the needle, so you don't have to unthread your machine to wind a new bobbin. Not sure how I feel about that. We've had it on, as I say, on this machine and a couple of others. Singer did it for a while. Let's just put it this way. We wind the bobbin the traditional way on this machine, which of course you can do, as you would do with most standard domestic machines. Reason why is we found sometimes that the thread can start to shred as it passes through the eye of the needle, and just leads to an uneven wind and weaker thread. So we tend to avoid it, but it's there if you want to give it a try. It's a nice thing to add. Not a lot of machines have this functionality anymore. So yeah, as I say, it's there if you want it, and they're selling it as a feature, and it is. You have a higher foot clearance potential on this machine. You can lift the presser foot up even higher, so if you're working on thicker layers of fabrics or bulky fabrics, you still get a really, the presser foot will still come down flat onto the fabrics, which helps with the sew, helps with the feed, helps with the stitch quality. Good thing. As this is a mechanical machine, it does have a 4-step buttonhole, not a 1-step buttonhole. There's advantages and disadvantages to both, to be perfectly honest, but just to say, this is a 4-step buttonhole machine. So what do we like about this machine? Well, the build quality, straight away. This is a technology that Pfaff have used for years now, going back years, different marks of the machine, different models of the machine. I've worked on machines over 30 years old that have effectively the same structure inside. It's tried and tested, it's robust, it works really well. This is a machine that you can have for the long term. It's really great at handling fabrics of all types. You know, it works really well with bulky, heavy fabrics, but also with light fabrics as well, because you've got the IDT, the great feed, you've got the piercing power. So it really is a workhorse, a term I'm going to use again later, but it really is. We also like the way you select stitches on this machine. It's with these rows of buttons at the front here. To begin with, you might find it a bit confusing, but actually it starts to make sense, and it's really easy. You just press a button and you're straight in. You've got the stitch. You can affect the width and the length of the stitch with dials at the front as well. So not the same as most machines, but does, once you get used to it, makes a lot of sense. We quite like it. What's not so good? First of all, unfortunately, they've stopped making a hard case for this machine. In fact, I'm not even sure if it comes with a soft cover. So, yeah, when you get this machine, one of the first things to do is maybe make a cover for it. It's a shame, but I can kind of understand why they've done it. I think they've done it to keep the price point down. And instead of compromising on the quality of the machine itself, they made a decision, whether you agree with it or not to include a hard case. There's a couple of features that can be a little bit confusing to begin with until they become a habit. First of all, the tension on this machine is actually on the right of the needle bar and not on the left. So you just have to thread it up in a slightly different way. Instead of, you have to go round and back on yourself slightly. Sounds odd, it really isn't. Once you've done it once or twice and the guides are all there, you won't even be thinking about it. You just thread up as normal. So what do we think? We really like this machine. Those little idiosyncrasies aside, the things that you need to get used to, it's actually a really decent machine. It's made really well. It's very robust. We put some quite heavyweight fabrics through this thing and it's just dealt with them. I hope that's helped. As we always say, got any questions, any thoughts, stick them in the comments. We always respond. Any ideas of other videos you'd like to see, let us know. If you like what we're doing, like and subscribe to the channel. We're going to be doing lots more. And yeah, happy sewing.